Clash Royale is a game designed to be played on literally anything with a screen. There are people who play it on refrigerators. I mean, it's like Doom for cell phones. The minimum requirements, meaning what a phone needs just to open the game, are more than 1 GB of RAM and Android version higher than 7. So even a potato with a screen can open it since it's not a demanding game. This is possible because almost the entire game is rendered in 2D. That means the cards are literally illustrations, basically a lot of little drawings in different positions that create the illusion of movement instead of 3D rendering, which would basically make the game more demanding. Assuming Clash Royale is always equally demanding is a mistake. Be careful, it's a game with over 100 cards, evolutions, heroes, and the unpredictable princess. That means the possible matches are almost infinite. And even though most of the cases that can happen are easy to run even for low-end devices with a screen, there are cases where it can become extremely demanding even for expensive phones and fry them. So I'll look for the cheapest phone I can find that meets the minimum specifications just to open the game, because if it doesn't open, there's no video, guys, and to compare it to the most expensive phone that exists. At least on the day this video was recorded, in different demanding tests within the game, will there really be such a big difference between two completely opposite phones? Obviously yes, let's see. First, I had to go look for that cheap phone and I did it in my city. It's a small city. I don't like daylight, guys. I'm a Clash Royale player. All my life I've made crappy Clash Royale videos, so I don't know how to vlog, guys. How do you do this? Help? So basically I went to the first store I found and they had ultra super mega expensive phones. Nothing for someone as humble as me. Then I went to a supermarket where I'm supposed to find more phones and there were like 3 phones, literally like 3, and 2 of them were iPhones. What a lame city, my god. I kept looking around. Well, actually, that's a lie. I didn't look around much more because I was too lazy, and I ended up finding a small shop that supposedly had one. A phone for 2,000 pesos, which is about $50, really cheap. But when I went to ask, they told me this: "Hi, good afternoon. Do you have a phone for 2,000 pesos?" It's not 2,000 pesos. That's just the first payment. Okay, I got tricked, guys. It didn't cost 2,000 pesos. So I had no choice but to buy it online. Cheap unlocked phone plus black earphones. Incredible. Ugly. We bought the paperweight and just need to wait for it to arrive. The phone is already here. I don't know what you think. It's a bit slow and I think I got scammed because it didn't look like that in the picture. Yeah, no, just kidding. That trash isn't the phone we bought online. This is the trash we bought online. And now we have to compare it with a phone that's almost 30 times more expensive in Clash Royale tests. But when I went to try it, something pretty sad happened. And when I was doing the unboxing, indeed, the phone is made of phone. And when I was turning it on, by the way, great startup animation updating, which by the way took about half an hour to do before I could download it, the glorious Clash Royale. This phone got locked on me. I mean, no joke. It literally locked up and wouldn't let me use it anymore, so I had lost $50, damn it. But it was fine because I have another very cheap phone. My old phone. Nowadays, in the second-hand market, it's worth between $50 and $70, so it's good for comparison. And yeah, I don't know why I have a minima sticker, so to really see the differences between the two, I'm gonna compare them in 3 different tests inside Clash Royale. And 3 tests designed to push each phone's performance to the limit, from the simplest thing that can happen in a match to the most chaotic. The first will be an easy test, where the game is under normal conditions and therefore isn't very demanding. The second will be intermediate, where we'll start adding more effects, more troops, and more things happening at the same time, where the cheap phone might start to lag. And the third will be the most difficult test for both phones, where basically I'm going to try to break the game. The highest number of troops, effects, and chaos possible that can happen. Can a phone handle that inside Clash Royale? Obviously, navigating through the main menu, which is one of the most basic things you can do in the game, is super smooth. In fact, let's enter the code Josie7 because it's very important. Although the first test is to try it in a match. What if I use PEKKA? Lumberloon is just too nasty. I even use it with freeze. Forgive me, guys, but well, I'm a cheapskate. Obviously, there's no need to clarify that this phone runs super smoothly, but I think the differences with the cheap phone will be noticeable. So we start with a barbarian barrel for those goblins, and I missed. 1 goblin. I'm incredibly bad, that's why I use PEKKA, balloon, and freeze. Okay, he has giant, so we have a counter. So we drop the PEKKA from the back to counter that giant. I hope it's not giant graveyard. Perfect, it's giant Sparky, so our Electro Dragon will work perfectly. It's amazing, guys. If you play like a rat in this game, you'll be matched against decks you can beat. Counter. Okay, that defense worked, but it scared me a little. We almost didn't make it. We countered this deck, but we played relatively badly. In fact, we played really badly, but we're okay. We almost lost a tower, but we're okay. We start with the evolved PKKA from the back because a giant Sparky is coming, and the evolved PK is going to sweep that Sparky completely. It won't stand a chance, especially since we also have the evolved Electro Dragon. Now, when we throw it at him, we'll ruin his party with the tornado and pull everything together. Yes, we destroy everything, and our counterattack will be incredible since we're already pushing with the balloon and PKKA. Will it heal off those lousy goblins? The barrel is coming from behind, right guys? I mean, I'm a rat and I play a deck that doesn't take skill, but come on, I can predict a barrel from behind, and I think that with a freeze, that's going to be 3 crowns. So we won the first match with the expensive phone by 3 crowns against a deck we hard countered. No need to mention the phone worked perfectly. The only thing that could have failed was my internet. Third world problems, let's stick with the cheap phone. For example, when I opened the game, there was a strange visual bug that doesn't seem to affect gameplay. But it is quite a big difference compared to the other phone, and yes, it has a Minnie Mouse sticker, so what? So we navigate through the main menu, and you can see it lags a little. Look, I'm not saying it's a bad phone. In fact, I understand that many of you have similar phones to play the game. But compared to the phone that's 30 times pricier, differences are already showing, so let's get into the match to see more. I understand that the screen recording might not be the smoothest because, well, the phone isn't the most powerful in the world either, but for now, it's working pretty well. Super smooth, so okay, he has the level 12 Air Musketeer. No, this match is going to be incredibly easy. And he has Sparky, man. No, this is going to be super easy because once again we have a counter, a lumberjack to defend a mini PKKA plus a wizard. I mean, I'm an idiot. I spent 9 elixir defending 4 elixir. Good thing the opponent threw some predictive arrows at absolutely nothing. But anyway, we took advantage of the lumberjack's rage a little to send a balloon at the bridge so it would go faster. Let's see, did that balloon do anything at all? My ability was pretty useless since it didn't kill the firecracker and even activated the king's tower. Still, at least we did some damage. The guy comes in with another witch, a pretty strange mini PKKA, a very mediocre push, so we defend super easily with our 2 evolutions. I'm gonna use a freeze so Sparky doesn't hit the PEKK. I thought the Electro Dragon would survive. That was probably the worst freeze ever. Yeah, it was terrible. Well, I think we made the match harder for ourselves for no reason, but a good tornado plus the Mage Hero's ability. No, I don't even think it's necessary. Oh, Sparky took him out. We used the Lumberjack for a secret rat push with the classic Lumberjack Balloon combo to take down the tower, because I think it's going to be pretty easy since that Hero Musketeer can't take it down unless she uses her ability. Yeah, the ability was pretty good because the Musketeer is level 12 and on her own she can't do anything. Oh, my clicks. No, use the freeze. Nothing's going to happen because the opponent's deck is trash. I mean, total trash. I think it's just a matter of time before we win the match. Actually, my Electro Dragon here plus my Tornado is really bad. Good thing PEKKA landed that last hit on Sparky. If not, we would have been in serious trouble. Serious trouble. Freeze here and a Barbarian Barrel save our butts, literally. Let's see. That attack that looks weak could get us into serious trouble. But the evolved PEKKA, I think it's going to save our butts a little. Why isn't it deploying? Come on. No. This is the cheap phone's fault. It can't be, man. So, the score in test number 1, the expensive phone got a 10 out of 10. It didn't have any problems, but the cheap phone started to show some errors. In fact, it made us lose the game, so I give it a 5 out of 10, man, because it made us lose the game, but overall, it performed pretty well. The second test was going to put a lot more stress on both devices. The rule is pretty simple. The more entities, troops, and effects there are on screen, the harder it is for the phone to maintain performance. For that, I played a match in the 7x elixir mode against my friend using decks specifically designed to flood the screen thanks to 7x elixir. We could spam them much faster than usual. The $1,600 phone performed exactly as you would expect, handling the huge number of troops and effects on screen without any problems. But what was really surprising was when I repeated the test with the $50 phone, to my surprise, the troops were placed correctly. The touchscreen responded well, and the game never froze like I expected it would. Yes, the recording is a bit less smooth than with the expensive phone, but it actually had more entities than the first test with the expensive phone. And at no point did the game lag significantly. So in this second test, both phones get a perfect score. In the third test, I was gonna run something that basically any phone fears. A video from Josie7. No, just kidding. the most destructive, vicious cycle in Clash Royale, the battle healers healing each other infinitely. This is one of the heaviest scenarios the game can render. And would I test it on both phones at the same time? Basically, if you place healers on the bridge, they start healing each other, and when you reach a certain threshold of healers, the mutual healing surpasses all the damage they deal, allowing you to keep placing more and more healers until you fill the screen with effects. And as the game went on and I placed more and more healers, the cheap phone started to struggle, the game on that phone would lag. Sometimes it would take seconds for the touchscreen to respond and the frame drops were very obvious. Meanwhile, the expensive phone seemed like it was playing a simple video. Everything was absurdly smooth. Well, exactly what you would expect from the most powerful hardware a device can have. So in this final test, the $1,600 phone gets a 10 out of 10 and the cheap phone, well, at least it tried its best. So we'll end the video here. If you liked it and I see a lot of support, I'll do it again. With an even cheaper phone, don't forget to use code Josie. See you in the next one.